Hi everyone, I'm Abby.
And I'm Amy. And this is the AA meeting.
2021.
Yeah, first episode of 2021.
2021. Whack your face
and
with
I
the
just
microphone.
headbutted the microphone.
How are you, Ames?
Very well, thank you. We missed last week.
We did miss last week.
So this feels a little funny, actually. I feel a bit out of practice.
I know, but I'm very excited to see where the AA meeting will go this year.
Yes, me too.
We've had
Whole
some
year.
substantial growth within the first 7 episodes, and we're just excited to keep growing with you guys and meeting more of you guys and interacting, and I'm so excited.
Bring on 2021, I say.
Yeah,
2020 can get in the bin.
Can jump straight in the bin. All right. Should we just jump into it?
I think we should.
Roll
intro. Woo!
Welcome to my up home. I'm Lil Shorty, these my hoes. This is how we run this shit. Pistol Olympics, let's go.
Alrighty, new year, new AA meeting episode.
I thought you were going to say new year, new me,
new
and I was
year,
about to, backhand you.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's just very 2014.
Anyway, last episode was before Christmas, before New Year's.
Yeah, we left off with the Christmas special.
Yeah. So, how was your Christmas, New Year period?
Well, it was actually really fun. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to recap something that had happened this week. So, obviously, you know how there's all the sales and stuff post-Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at the shops, and this person, I walked past them, and they had a T-shirt on, and the T-shirt said Malibu. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want a T-shirt that has the alcohol brand on it. That's so cool. I should get one that says tequila or vodka.
Yeah.
And then when they walked past me, I turned around to look at it again. And no, it just had a picture of Malibu.
Oh.
And so that's when I realized that I'm an alcoholic and that there was actually stating the
welcome to the AA meeting.
Exactly.
Where Abby needs some help.
Oh no, but
that's
anyway.
so funny. Right. Well, other than that, how was your Christmas, New Year's?
Really good. So, actually, from the period of just before Christmas to just after Christmas, it was the 24th to the 28th. My family and I were just on a drinking binge the whole time. So we'd wake up, full bender.
Big old bender.
Wake up in the morning, would walk outside, have something to eat, maybe a coffee, start drinking.
Wow.
Then drink all day, all night, sleep, wake up, repeat.
That's the way.
So Christmas was fun, and I actually ended up having a 4-day hangover after that bender.
You're getting old, babe.
I know, I'm actually getting old. I actually said to my parents, I was like, I can't do these benders anymore. I don't know how they were doing it, let alone me, a 21-year-old. Oh, God. But I was in bed for 4 days straight, and that kind of impacted my New Year's.
Right.
So New Year's was still fun, but I was very much not okay.
Yeah.
And how was yours?
I was also in bed for 4 or 5 days.
Right.
But not alcohol induced. I was really unwell
That's
for all of
so
Christmas,
bad.
all of New Year's. Yeah, I don't know what. I was sick before we came to the Gold Coast.
Right.
And I don't think I ever really got over it. And so I think it just hit me. It's not the Rona. I got tested. I got tested before we came, just so everyone knows. But which, by the way, you've had a COVID test.
Yeah, I've had 3.
They're awful.
They like to tickle your brain a little, hey?
It literally, I kind of expected, because I knew that they put the swab up your nose. Yeah. But for some reason in my head, I was like, they probably just put it up and then pull it straight back in. No, they put it up, wiggle it around.
They gotta make a little swirly swirl up there. Yeah.
And then pull it out.
And then do it into the other nostril.
Yeah. Oh, it was so unpleasant. And the nurse was asking me questions, just making conversation with me while there was a swab up my nose. I was like, babes, I can't talk right now. I can't even think because there's something touching my brain
right now.
Anyway, so I was really unwell for all of Christmas. Woke up Christmas morning just so sick. Stayed in bed all day. Made an appearance for Christmas lunch, and then stayed in bed for 4 more days after that. I was a bit better on by New Year's, but we didn't really do anything because I was still when you're recovering from being sick and you just feel really anyway. So I just kind of hung out with my parents. Dad made lots of cocktails. Good old Davo.
Nice.
And then that was it. So this year, we said on the last podcast, I didn't have any like horrible Christmas stories.
Right.
And we said like, maybe this is the
year
year.
will be your year.
We jinxed it.
Yeah,
that's literally what I was thinking. I was laying in bed on my deathbed and I was like, I brought this on myself. Anyway.
Karma, that was karma.
So and like it was still good, but like I didn't have the best Christmas, New Year's, which is a bit of a shame. But
maybe this year will be your year.
Well, let's hope so.
No, maybe this year will be a bit better for you. Anyway, so that means you didn't end up playing beer pong, hey?
No, and we still haven't done it. So,
well, I played beer pong.
Okay, tell us about it. Wait, if you missed the last episode.
Oh, yes.
We were talking about how we both had organised beer pong matches with our families.
Beer pong tournaments,
because Abby and I are really competitive about beer pong. Yeah. My brother actually originally challenged me to the competition and I was like,
you are on. Like Donkey Kong.
You've got no idea. But anyway, because I was so sick, we haven't done it yet. He came into my room the other day actually and he was like, so when are you going back to Sydney? And I was like, oh, like not for a while yet. Like why? And he was like, oh, just because we haven't played beer pong yet. I was like, don't you worry, son. Don't you worry, it's coming.
We will be playing beer pong. But so we did play beer pong. We also played Rage Cage and we also played Drunk Jenga.
Okay, how'd you go?
So beer pong, I was an absolute star. I sunk so many cups in a row.
What I like to hear.
And it was just boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got all the way down to the opposite team being on 1 cup.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So all my team had to do was just sink 1 more ball and then we'd won. Anyway, I don't know what happened, but the opposition team just decided to like sink all of our cups.
No.
Yeah. Before we could sink that last one.
That pesky last cup.
It's so annoying. And I would throw it and it would just go like a meter that way. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not even close to that one, but I got all the others. But so we actually ended up 1-on-1 cup and we played like redemption and the other team scored in ours. They sunk it. But we have all these other rules and I like bounce caught a ball before that. So that means I had 2 goes and my partner had 1 go. And so then
so you've got 3 shots.
We had 3 shots left.
All right.
As well as the entire game where there was literally just 1 cup.
Right.
So then we had 3 more shots to get it in and like we'd win. And without further ado, we did.
Didn't happen.
We did kind of tank and miss all of those shots. So
I
did lose beer pong and I'm not over it.
No, I'm so sorry to hear that. That actually is heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking. But Rage Cage was fun. Like we should play that with all of our friends. And like we played Drunk Jenga. Actually it was shot Jenga. So if you mess up, you got to take a shot.
Oh, absolutely not.
And it was very fun.
There you go.
Anyway, so obviously like Christmas and New Year's especially this year was very different to like our New Year's last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm sure everyone can kind of like agree with. There was a lots of restrictions and everything this year. Like, and last year I was at a music festival.
Yeah. I don't think the virus was in Australia yet, was it?
I don't actually know when it like came to Australia, but New Year's last year was crazy. I was at this music festival called Falls down in Byron Bay, and it's like a 3-day festival, but if you camp there then you're there for like 5 maybe 6 days, and that was insane. Like the best weekend ever. And so even if we did do something crazy for New Year's, I don't think anything would have like lived up to that. And I just hope that, you know, we can all kind of I guess work together in trying to like fight what's going on in the world so that we can get back to somewhat normality soon.
Please. I'm just so over it. Like I've had enough, you know? Yeah. I've had enough and therefore it should stop. Thank you.
Yes, I think so too. So once Amy's had enough, the whole world has had enough.
We're saying no to COVID and therefore it doesn't exist anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much and good night. Amy.
Yes, Abby.
Any fun stories, something interesting that's happened this week?
You know there is.
I know there is. Whenever you hear me say Amy.
Yes.
You know what? You know something is about
something
to happen.
big's happening.
Yeah, it's going to go down.
Today is Monday. On Saturday night, Abby and I went clubbing on the Gold Coast.
Clubbing on the Gold Coast.
So Queensland, like, right now, like, in regards to like COVID and whatever is pretty okay.
They've had like little to no cases
Yeah.
pretty much this entire time.
Yeah.
Really. They've like locked it down pretty well. Anyway, so everything in Queensland is like well and truly back to normal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially clubs.
We just could not believe. So we went out in Surfers Paradise, if you know. Cavalab.
Cavalab. Oh, God. I
And
feel
it
like
was-
I'm 18 again.
Yeah. And it was busier than when I was 18. Like,
Yeah.
the busiest I've ever seen
never
it.
seen Cavalab that busy.
No.
And it wasn't even like it was a special... It was just a Saturday night. And it
Yeah.
was probably it was the first Saturday night of the year.
Yeah.
But still...
I think, like, because everyone was, like, in lockdown and whatever for so long now, everyone's just going, like... And, like, dance floors are only just back.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone's just, like, going ham.
Yeah.
But we were standing in line for 45 minutes to get into Betty.
Okay, so if you know us, you know that we've talked a lot about Betty. Betty is the bedroom lounge bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called, up in Surface. And it is iconic to us.
To us. Most other people probably don't hold it as high as we do.
Everyone else thinks it's disgusting and it's so gross and it's dark and it's seedy and that's exactly what it is.
All valid points,
and that's
really.
why we love it.
We love Betty.
Yeah.
So we got to Surfers at what? Like
We got there probably at like
12?
12-ish, just
Yeah.
after 12.
And the line was ridiculous, but the lines were ridiculous everywhere.
Every single
Like,
club and bar.
As we walked down the street, like all of like the big clubs that we walked past were just like the line was just out of control. I've never seen that many people
Neither.
in Surfers in my life.
And
like,
there was no, like Gold Coast specifically is literally in a pandemic bubble.
yeah.
Like there was no social distancing in the line.
No.
There was police driving by, walking past on the streets, not even enforcing
No.
any kind of COVID safety.
No. Betty is across the road from the Surfers police station. Like you can see the police walking out of the police station while you stand in line.
Yeah.
No one gave a heck about
There was
anything.
no regard to
No.
COVID safe plans.
No. Not that, like, I mean, I guess because there's...
I guess because there's nothing going on there, but like coming from girls who live in a
Yeah.
big city like Sydney with 5 million plus people,
Yeah.
it is like I felt like we were going to get in trouble because
Me
I was
too.
standing too close to someone.
Yeah. I literally think it was busier than schoolies. Like,
Really?
I've saw less people in one place at schoolies. Like, it was just... Anyway, so we lined up for 45 minutes. Finally got into Betty.
45 minutes in the line.
Had to pay entry, which we don't pay entry.
We don't.
By the
And
way.
you know what's crazy is we actually have a bedroom VIP gold
Yes.
member card where you get like unlimited, like entry always, you get like drinks on ladies' night,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Apparently, they've gotten rid of the gold member cards.
And it's so sad. Anyway, we tried to get in with that and they were like, nope. Anyway, we had to pay entry.
$20, no less.
I've never paid entry before.
Actually, there was a surcharge. $21 to get into Betty. Usually, you can just walk past. There's like a host on the door, and you walk up and go, "Oh, how much is entry?" And they go, "Oh, follow me, girls."
And they go, nothing for you, dolls.
$21 we paid to get in. Could not believe it.
No, not at all. Anyway, so we get into the club. The club's been changed
Yeah,
a
they've
lot.
done all these renovations
There's
during
actually
COVID.
like lights in the club. You can see where you're going.
Yeah, you can see people's faces.
Yeah,
Not
which
into that.
really isn't like the
Yeah.
best. Because normally we say to each other, "Oh, it's fine. Like my hair looks bad. It's fine. It's gonna be dark.
It'll
in
be
there.
dark in there anyway.
Like, my makeup's so bad. It's fine. It'll be dark in there."
Mm.
It
No,
was not
it was quite light
dark
in there.
It's quite light actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they've renovated quite a bit, and believe it or not, the bedroom doesn't have any beds in it anymore.
No, there was
Shocker.
one that we'll talk about in a second.
In a little bit.
But they got rid of all the beds.
But in replace of one of the beds, they have put a ball pit. And if you can just use your imagination, just for like 1 minute, and to think how disgusting yet fun that ball pit is.
And all the balls are like, because people have jumped all over and like squished.
Yeah, half of them are all like deflated and like
Yeah.
bent and stuff.
But it's literally a cage with pink balls all in it, and you
Yeah.
just jump in, and there's a guy standing there who'll like take photos for you and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what in the middle of a club? What
Is that
do
not
you
the
mean?
best thing ever though?
Oh, I was so
That's such
excited.
a good idea.
Yeah.
But like also that is how
That's how you get the virus.
That's how you get the virus.
Among several other diseases. I'm sure there are all kinds of things in there.
STI.
Yeah.
Probably. Anyway, so we're having a great time in the bedroom.
Tearing up the dance floor.
Cutting
And then
shapes.
cutting shapes because we haven't been able to all year.
And we actually said to each other before we went out, we're like, I don't actually care what I look like.
No.
I'm just literally, I'm going to be like crazy.
Yeah, my legs are all bruised because I don't know why, but I think my
kicking stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to town.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we were walking to the bathroom, were we, or to the bar or something? I don't know where we were going, but we were like walking through the crowd, like on the dance floor to get somewhere, and this big roidsy dude comes up behind us, grabs me on the arm. Yeah, covered in tattoos, grabs my arm, and I turn around and I was like, oh, God, here we go. He goes, my mates and I are up there at the VIP deck. Do you girls want to come up and have a dance? Anyway, I was just terrified because this guy was huge. And so and Abby had left, like kept walking.
I have tunnel
Didn't
vision.
didn't realize I was stuck with some man. Anyway, so I'm like calling. She turns around. She comes over and goes, oh, what's going on? And I was like, ask my friend. Anyway, he goes, we're up on the VIP deck, love. Like, do you want to come have a dance? And Abby was like, yeah, all right.
My thought process was I looked at you and you were just staring at me. And then I looked at him and in my brain, I was like, hell no. And I looked at Amy again and then I looked back at him and I just thought, God, we will do anything
for the podcast.
Yeah. So lo and behold, I looked at him and I was like, yeah, sure.
So next thing we know.
Oh wait, actually, but normally in clubs there's like a VIP booth and like another section and whatever. In bedroom there is VIP booths, which is just these small little couches. You basically get one bottle of something, get sparklers, whatever. The VIP like lounge there is honestly, it's like half the club.
Yeah, it takes up an entire wall.
It's all gated off.
Yeah.
And they have their own security guards up there. They had 3 female bartenders with like full bars to get you whatever you want to drink. Like this was the ultimate VIP section.
So next thing we know, the guy is like walking through the crowd. Abby's
holding my hand.
Abby's holding on to him. I'm holding on to Abby.
You know what? I was walking through and like people were looking at me going like, oh my God, like what is going on? Like, are you okay? And I would look at them being like, oh my God, like this is really gross. I know, but like watch me in a second be up there.
So we get up there and he literally just like lets us through they had like ribbon
the security
things.
guard, open the little ribbon gate thing for us.
We walk through. He just walks away. Like didn't even want to talk to us.
No.
Like anyway, we were like, all right. So we like walked in.
There's actually a bed up there.
Yeah, there was a bed in the VIP area.
You best believe I sat on that bed.
She did, and I looked at it and went, "That's how you get AIDS."
Okay.
I'm not sitting there.
Then we left the bed.
And then we went and got. So I didn't even know that you could get free drinks in there. Like I didn't know that's what the little like bar carts. I know. I didn't know that's what like the little bar carts were for. And Abby was like, "I'm pretty sure like we can just ask them for whatever we want." So Abby went up to the girl and was like, "So how does this work?" And the girl was like, "Literally, like whatever you want. Like what do you girls want to drink? It's on them." Like anyway. So
and we just looked at each other and we were like, this is where we win back that $21 we paid.
Yeah,
entry.
exactly. We were like, we're getting 8 drinks. Like, that's wild. So we order a drink, whatever. We're standing there enjoying our drinks. Some guy that must have been friends with the big roidsy dude that came up to us first.
There was a lot of them. There was a big chunk of them. And there was also already like a lot of girls up there.
Yeah, like
so
a whole
they were all,
group
like,
of them.
preoccupied with them. And me and Amy like, this is great. We just get to stand here, get free drinks. Like,
we don't even have to talk to them.
No,
like,
not at all. Anyway, so what did his friend come up and say to us?
So there was probably like 6 of these like big guys in there.
Yeah.
One of them comes up to us and goes, "Girls, if you're going to be in the VIP area, you have to dance." And I was like, that's disgusting.
And Amy and I just looked at each other and we were like,
but fair enough.
Oh my God. I have never felt more like an object in my entire life.
But an object with free drinks.
But I was happy to be an object at that point in my life, you know? And so Amy and I looked at each other. We were like, that's disgusting. But you best believe that we like pushed some people out of our way and just started tearing up the dance floor. We did. Oh, God. Anyway, long story short, we're probably up there for what? 20 minutes?
Oh, yeah, I reckon. We had 1 free drink.
1 free drink.
One.
Up there because, you know, we're too busy cutting shapes so that the scary old men could watch us.
They weren't like dancing with us or anything. They literally
No.
we were all just standing around.
They
and
literally were talking
like,
to the other girls. No one was even looking at us.
No, and we went over like kind of the other side where no one was.
And we were over
like,
to the balcony where you overlook the rest of the club, and we were like dancing to the rest of the club.
Yeah.
Anyway, you best believe after about 20 minutes we got kicked out of that VIP section.
Kicked out after one free drink.
After one, we didn't even get 2 free drinks. We got one free drink and got kicked out.
I was so upset. So some of Abby's friends were there, and we were kind of like, it's kind of karma. We were kind of like rubbing it in their faces that we got.
They were trying to get up onto the VIP stage
earlier in the night.
And anyway, we were like, you can't get up there, blah, blah, blah. 30 minutes later, Amy and I were up there.
Yeah.
So obviously
waving at them.
We were on the balcony and I was waving at the boys. I was like, look at where we are. We're up here. Anyway, so they came up to the stairs and they started chatting to us and we were talking to them and whatever. Anyway, we got kicked out due to association.
Yeah. One of the guys that brought us in would have seen that
we were talking to other people.
They're over there talking to other boys and asked the security. So the security guard came up to us and was like,
and
girls,
actually pushed us out.
Yeah, he was like, girls, you don't have a wristband, you have to get out. And we were like,
but we've been here for 20 minutes. No, we got invited in here, blah, blah, blah.
And he'd seen us because we'd walked past him a couple of times and he'd looked at us.
I bumped into him about twice when I was dancing as well.
Yeah. Anyway, he comes over and he was like, no, you don't have a wristband, you have to get out. And we were like, no, we got brought in. He was like, no, that's not how it works. And Abby was like, they have stamps that you get when you walk in. Abby was like showing him her stamp.
I was just showing my stamp at every person out in the club. I was like, no, I'm allowed to be here.
He was like, nah, sorry, girls.
Kicked out of the venue. That's why I did that.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. So he kicks us out of the VIP area after one drink. We lived the high life for 20 minutes. Devastated.
But you know what? Amy and I did say to each other, it's amazing that we got invited in there.
Yeah.
But it's classic Abby and Amy that we got kicked out of there.
Straight away.
Yeah.
And we were literally making a plan. Abby was like to me, Amy, as soon as the club closes, we have to run because these guys are kind of creepy. We don't want to get stuck with them. We were making plans about the club closing, which wasn't for an hour and a half. 20 minutes later, we get kicked out.
Anyway, so like we said earlier, felt like an object.
Felt like an object.
But I'd never been so happy to be an object if I got free drinks and got my own balcony to dance.
Yeah.
Anyway, after we got kicked out of that area, so Betty has these stages.
Yeah, little podium
kind of things. They are labelled in big capital letters, ladies only dance stage.
Mm-hmm.
So just to make yourself feel even more like a bit of an object, there's podiums and stages that only the girls can get up and dance, and there's actually seats and bar stools right next to those stages so people can sit there and watch you.
Literally creepy men sit next to the ladies only. Sit there. You
know what's crazy is we actually have one of those stages in a club down in Sydney.
Yeah. The one in Bedroom isn't as bad compared to... This is at Home Bar at Darling Harbour. We hate Home
Bar. I've never had a good experience at Home Bar. I've been twice.
Three times we've been.
And I have never had a good night there.
No, me neither. We've always had something go wrong. They have this big... So Home Bar's huge. It's literally like a warehouse.
Yeah.
But then there's other levels and other rooms and it's ginormous.
Different DJ rooms and everything.
Yeah. But the main room is huge.
Yeah.
And there's this massive...
hundreds of people there.
Yeah. There's this massive DJ deck all along the front wall, and then along the DJ deck is this massive long stage, only for girls.
How long do you reckon that stage is? It's 5 meters long.
You can fit how many people up there?
40, 50 people up there.
Girls. Anyway, but the issue I have with it is that you get up on the girls only stage, and they kind of market it if you get up here, boys can't come near you, because there are creepy boys that will try and dance with you, you know? But it's just backfired, because if you stand on this stage, boys literally line up along the stage, don't dance, just stand there and watch.
And watch you.
It's disgusting.
And every single person in that warehouse. Yeah. That warehouse can fit hundreds of people.
Yeah. And the people at the back can see the people on this front stage.
Yeah, it's like you're actually in a theatre.
Yeah.
And there's an audience and there's a stage. You are dancing on that stage.
It's terrible. And I always I hate.
That's one of the reasons we don't like Home Bar.
Only one of the reasons.
Other reasons include that 2 out of the 3 times I've been to home bar, I have been in a massive fight.
One was a fist fight.
One was an actual physical contact fist fight.
Yes.
Which wasn't my fault.
No. Okay, so what happened? So we'd already had a shit night. Like,
Yeah.
we were all kind of in a bad mood, like, ready to go home, ready for a feed, whatever. We were walking down the stairs of home bar, and then we were, like, standing out the front, just minding our own business.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, these 2 girls walked past, rough as guts, and ready for a fight. Like,
yeah, they were out looking for a fight.
yeah, they were aggressive. Like, I don't think that was just alcohol. They were, like, anyway. One of them was, like, smoking a cigarette and kind of, like, flicked it at our friend's feet. And it wasn't an accident, by the
No,
way.
she definitely intended to look at us and then throw.
Yeah. For some
the
reason,
butt at
she was...
us.
Anyway, she threw this cigarette butt at... It was kind of at our feet, but, like, aiming for us, you know?
Yeah. And it did actually go in between of the feet of the girl that I was standing next to. Anyway, so... being that we had a bad night, we were all kind of a bit like a little bit of a fire in us.
Yeah.
That happened, and I murmured something under my breath.
Yeah.
Nothing towards them, nothing towards like any of my friends. It was
for all they know, you could have literally just said something to one of us
I
in
could have
reply
had a stroke.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, one of us could have said something, you could have been replying.
Exactly. So I said something under my breath. I'm not going to like repeat what it was. I don't even remember what it was really. Anyway, and they took that as me retaliating against them and starting a fight. So it then progresses to them kind of getting up in my face and what did you just say? What did you just say?
And I remember you because like we don't fight people.
I don't fight people.
We're not aggressive.
No offense. Look at me. I'm like lanky and skinny. Like I'm not going to fight someone.
Yeah, we've never been in a fist fight before. We don't like confrontation.
And
anyway,
we're like 6 young girls.
Yeah.
Like,
and Abby like shut down. She was literally like, "Oh no, like nothing."
I was like, no, like didn't say anything to you. Didn't like we're okay. Like we're just trying to leave. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this girl's getting really up in my face, starting to call me very, very hurtful names.
Every name under the sun.
And I was like,
we've already had a crap night.
I'm a good person. I swear. Maybe I've done some bad things in the past, but I am a good person and I don't deserve this. Anyway, I kind of just wanted it to be over and done with. And I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. And I started walking away, trying to like distance myself and my friends. At this point, I was kind of standing in front of all my friends, trying to not protect them, but I wanted to keep them safe and not have what's happening to me happen to them. And so I was kind of like, okay, this is enough.
We never once did we say or do anything to like fuel the fire, you know? We literally were like, oh, okay, and then like started to walk away really quickly.
And started to leave. Anyway, this is where it actually got physical. The girl started pushing me from the front and I was falling over, okay? Then I just turned around and started walking away. My back was towards them because I was like, this is enough. Like, what the hell is going on? I'm not going to fight them.
We literally were running away from the fight. We were.
We were sprinting. It was very fast-paced walking, I must tell you. My heels were going clunk, 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 clunk. Anyway, so then she starts pushing me like through my back. I start falling over. I actually fall to my hands and knees. As she's still pushing me on the floor, calling me terrible names, saying all these terrible things to me.
They were literally following us and like
they were following us, pushing me. Anyway, I was literally on the floor because she'd pushed me down. I was trying to crawl away. I was like, this is enough. I hate home bar. Anyway, I finally get up. We start kind of like running away. These boys are near us. Yeah. And they're kind of yelling out to us like, whoa, are you okay? What's going on?
One guy was like, oh, don't worry, girls. I got it.
I've got it. And anyway, we were like, I was literally like, we're fine. Crawling on my hands and knees on the pier. Home bar is in front of Darling Harbour on the pier, all these beautiful yachts, all these amazing restaurants. And I'm out there crawling on all fours.
This was the first time in my life that I was very happy to have a boy take over in my fight. You know, I was happy to play the damsel in distress in this situation. I was like, yeah, bro, you got it. You got it.
Like, we're okay, but like, help. Anyway, this girl's still going at it. We kind of are getting away. We see this man kind of running in our direction. I thought he was kind of coming towards us. So we're yeeting away. We're traveling as fast as we can.
Yeah. He was a bald man.
Yeah.
the biggest beer gut you've ever seen. Probably what, in his 40s or 50s?
I reckon, yeah, like early 40s.
And he must have been drugged up to the max.
Yeah.
Like, and also looking for a fight. So I reckon he saw our fight and was like, yeah, I'll take this
He
lucky
was like,
seconds.
oh yeah, I got this, ladies. Anyway, he runs
full
in
speed.
full speed. Call him Usain Bolt. Actually, call him my hero.
His
Not
beer
all
gut
heroes
is
wear capes. But his
beer
cape
gut's
was
up and down.
flying behind him. Anyway, runs in, just decks this girl across the face.
Smacks her.
The noise that his fist, the impact it made on her face.
I can still hear
I
it.
can still hear it. It was the loudest noise
Yeah.
I've ever heard. Then you hear all this, oh my God. At this point, we are so grateful
Yeah.
that someone has like,
No, but like we don't encourage. Like
no.
that was so unnecessary for starters.
well, like at this point, we are kind of like, okay, like this isn't our fight anymore. And we just like, we leave.
yeah,
We
'cause
leave.
those first boys had it. Like they'd kind of like pulled them
Grabbed the
back
friend,
and like
yeah.
helped us. We were getting away. We were fine. This bald big dude did not need to get involved.
He was a crackhead.
Came and full smacked her. Like I've never seen anything. I've never seen someone get hit like that in real life.
No.
Like
Anyway, so we were kind of just tunnel vision towards Macca's.
Mm.
As we're going this way, there's so much noise and commotion happening behind us. I actually didn't turn around once.
I did when we got really far.
I didn't even want to look what was happening behind us. Anyway, though, there's all these clubs and bars and restaurants and everything along like that harbour there in Darling Harbour. And they all have their own secchies, like security guards, their own bouncers. Police roam around there. Every single secchi, bouncer, policeman was running past us
To
what
get to the
had
fight.
happened behind us.
Yeah, and I remember like I saw them running and I was like, oh, they have no idea that we've just
I
caused
was
this
like,
whole
I have
thing.
no idea that it was like
I turned around.
us.
There would have been 50. It was like the harbour's in like, or the pier, sorry, is in like a U shape, and it was right like at the top
top of the
part
U,
near
yeah.
like the road. There would have been 50 people up there, like in a circle. I turned around, you couldn't see the fight because there were all these people.
brawl.
And we started it and no one knew. We were running away. All these secchies are running past us this way and we were just pretending that we were really excited to get to Macca's, but little did they know that was our
Anyway,
fault.
we all sat in Macca's and we just didn't talk.
No.
We sat there
Dead
in
silence.
silence eating our like cheeseburgers, hash browns,
Yeah.
chippies, frozen cokes, and we were all just like, oh my God. And Macca's is on the opposite side of the water.
Yeah.
So you could see all like the siren lights over there and oh
That's
God.
so funny. Anyway, just to clarify, we do not
Condone any kind of
know.
violence.
That man should not have smacked that girl even though she was being really horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But
it
isn't that a story?
is a story. And that's why we hate home bar and we
Yeah.
are never going back there again.
No. And I think we did go again after that. That wasn't our last time
No,
there.
we did go again and there was another fight.
Still
that
awful.
happened.
It's just awful. Awful. Some people probably like it, but we've never had a good time there.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
No. Anyway, let's move on from that.
Something a little bit lighter.
You've probably seen on TikTok, there's a trend going around where people list the reasons why they're not afraid of the COVID vaccine.
Yep.
So things that they've done or things that are in their body that are probably worse than whatever's in the vaccine.
And is why they are not afraid to get that vaccine.
Okay, so I have a couple. Ready? First of all, in my lifetime, over the years, I've consumed a dangerous amount of little fat lamb. What the heck's in that? No one knows. Probably worse than whatever's in the COVID vaccine.
Little fatties, what can I say? Actually, I have one.
Mm-hmm.
This has happened on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into a public bathroom barefoot.
Disgusting.
I've had a shower in a public bathroom barefoot.
No, you take thongs.
No.
You have to.
No.
That's how you get warts.
No.
All right. Well, kind of going on with the public bathroom thing. I've used a festival toilet on more than one occasion. And I'm sure I got some diseases from that.
Oh my God, going on from the festival toilet. I used a swimming pool that was in the middle of a music festival.
Yeah, that's...
So they had like made themselves some swimming pools
Mhm.
in the middle of a music festival,
Disease
3-day
ridden.
festival. I used it every single day.
Yep. No, you've got some things in your body
Yep.
from that,
Yep.
I'm sure.
Yep.
We live in a share house in Sydney. Most of you would know by now if you've been watching us for a while. We had a pretty severe cockroach infestation for a long time and lived in those conditions until...
We had a cockroach infestation for 6 months.
Yeah, because we just like couldn't get pest control, whatever. Anyway, there were a lot of issues, but we lived in that house with the cockroaches for 6 months and survived it, so I'm sure I can live with the
Didn't
COVID
even,
vaccine.
like, bat an eyelid.
No. Do you have any more?
Yeah. I actually will drink a drink that I have found at a house party or at prees.
That's how you die.
So whenever we have prees or whenever there's a house party, if there's a bottle there, it's like kind of full or maybe a cup, like, and it's something that I know what's in it, like, oh yeah, like that looks like a cruiser, like I'll drink that.
That looks like a cruiser.
I'll drink it.
That's how you get roofied and die. Terrible. Do you have any more? Move on.
I have let my dog lick my face multiple times.
Oh, so have I, yeah.
And a dog uses its tongue to clean its entire body.
Yeah,
so.
true. Well, there you go.
So I think everything that's, all the germs and bacteria that's inside of us, like nothing will be worse than the vaccine. Staying in this realm, what are things that boys do that give you the ick?
That give me the ick.
So do you want to explain what the ick is?
Yeah, so if someone gives you the ick, it means that it's just something that a boy does
Or says
that just immediately, like, you lose all interest, completely turns you off. You're like, I can't.
Like icky, like gross, like ugh.
And it can be, like, a lot of them are things that, like,
just normal.
Yeah, shouldn't be an issue, but for some reason just make me feel really uncomfortable.
And anyway, we use the ick in our lives to try and combat catching feelings for someone.
Yes.
If you're starting to talk to someone or anything like that, they're showing some interest in you and you're getting scared to show interest back or to initiate something and you want to kind of back away from it. You think of these things to give yourself the ick so that you don't catch feelings.
It's a defense mechanism.
It is, and it works.
So, here are some of my icks. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If he calls his mummy and dad, or he calls his parents mummy and daddy, not as a joke. Can you imagine that?
Ew.
If he's eating like spaghetti bolognese or something and has like the orange ring.
Yuck.
On that note, this is actually like all humans. If this happens to anyone, I will not be able to look at you when they get like this little spit.
Oh, yuck, the white spit thing.
Yeah, in the corner of their mouth. Looks like rabies. Can't handle that. If a boy ever told me, like ever came up to me and was like, I think you've had a bit too much to drink, I'd be out of there.
Oh, that's not an ick. That is like
I
a
would
slap
be
to the face.
immediately, I'm having a great time. You can get lost.
Imagine them just come home from the groceries, but they didn't really get that much. So they open their boot and they take their one singular grocery bag out of the boot and then like walk into the house with one single grocery bag.
What's he supposed to do? Split it into two for the sake of it?
That just make you feel uncomfortable.
What? Pay an extra 15 cents for a bag so that they have two? I don't understand.
But just one grocery bag. Imagine someone walking with like one grocery bag.
I do that all the time. Fit it all in one because I don't want to pay an extra 15 cents.
No, but I mean, there's like a few things in there. It's not full to the brim, and it's like tapping against his legs as he's walking.
I just feel sorry for whoever you date.
Imagine them at sushi train, but the sushi train that like you're sitting at the sushi bar, and it's like the train actually like rotates around the restaurant, and they're like looking at what they want and like picking things off and putting it back on. Does that not give you the ick?
I thought you were going to say, like, you know, when the train goes a bit too fast and you can't catch your sushi.
Exactly. That's like what I mean. Just them in that situation. That's a great ick.
Oh, I'm so glad I never have to date you because I would just be so scared of doing anything.
Just imagine them wearing a backpack.
Oh. A backpack? Where's he supposed to put his things? Or in his pockets.
I can't tell you. I'm sorry. But it's just like, no, but okay. Backpack, okay. But imagine two strapped backpack. Like not one strapping it, you're two strapping it, and then you do up the buckle at the front.
Would you prefer like a man purse? I don't understand. What if they have a lot of things?
Did you not hear my buckle thing?
I heard the buckle thing. Yeah, don't put the buckle on. I don't know what that's about, but
I don't know, man. That just gives me the ick.
Okay. Well, I feel sorry for all the boys.
What about all the boys you?
That was fair enough. Don't call your parents mummy and daddy. I don't
Don't wear a backpack. I have the ultimate ick.
Lay it on me.
Okay. This is the ick that I have used and it freaking works.
Okay.
So put yourself in this situation.
Okay.
Imagine you're at like a house party.
Okay.
Or you're at Pre's.
Yep.
Or something
I'm
like that.
feeling it.
Yep. Music's pumping.
Yep.
Drinks are flowing. You're picking up drinks from the floor that you don't know what they are and you're
I'm
drinking
not.
them.
I'm not.
Okay, so I just am.
Okay.
So you're playing beer pong.
Yep.
Against this person.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it's teams, whatever. You're playing against him. You throw the ball and it bounces off the cup, lands on the floor and just rolls like a long way away.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
My ultimate ick
Yeah.
is imagine them bending over trying to chase that ping pong ball.
Like in a little scurry.
And then they can't pick it up. Is that not the best ick ever?
How is he supposed to go get the ping pong ball? Just Harry Potter it.
They're trying to pick it up, but like they're missing it because it's rolling or because they're drunk. Like it just gets progressively worse, and they're hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like a little
Dobby
gremlin.
running after
Dobby. Literally, is that not the best ick ever?
the poor boy.
But also, these are all reversible,
Yeah.
interchangeable between males and females.
There
Imagine
is
a girl doing that.
Yeah, there is something really embarrassing about running after the ping pong ball.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, I think it's time to move on.
The next segment of the podcast is
Shit
we
don't
understand. I was trying to be the echo, but I didn't know like how long you were leaving pauses in between.
I was just
that.
freestyling.
Right. Yeah, I know. Spitting
Fire.
All right, shit we don't understand.
Today, I will be guessing.
Amy will be guessing.
Why do people have different accents? Like, why is there such thing as a Scottish accent, and why does like my voice sound? Why don't we all sound the same if we're speaking the same language?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Cool.
Okay, so my first guess is that I think maybe it has. This is going to sound crazy, but something to do with the weather. Like, maybe if it's like really hot. So like, you know how Australians don't enunciate very well? Maybe that's because like it's so hot or like maybe the flies or I don't really know. Does it have something to do with the weather?
Look, from what I've got here, it doesn't have anything to do with the weather.
Okay. I thought maybe like if it's cold and like you don't move your mouth as much because you're so cold.
But wouldn't that be... That's the opposite of what you're saying because Australia, it's so...
But then if it's really hot, then you can't be bothered to... You know what I mean?
I have heard before that Australians don't open their mouth when they speak because they don't want the flies to go in.
Right.
But I don't know if that's true or not.
So that's not what it says there?
No.
Okay. All right. My next guess. Maybe it has something to do with, like, I learned English, but then where does it come from? I was going to say, like, I have an Australian accent because I'm around people with an Australian accent. So maybe, like, whoever learnt English in Australia, like, maybe, like, the first people in Australia, one of them had a very specific, like, a really weird voice. And then everyone just learnt it from here. You know what I mean? And then maybe, like... the first Scottish person was like a bit weird and had, I shouldn't say, Scottish accents aren't weird, but you know what I mean. Compared to an Australian accent, it's weird.
Keep going.
And then, he was a bit strange and everyone just learnt it from him. Like does that kind of make sense?
I understand what you're saying that like, so say Captain Cook when he like came into Australia and like, you know, whatever, discovered the land or whatever, even though it was already previously inhabited, that he just thought that he discovered a new land. And then with whoever the first settlers were when they came in, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Like some of them who taught each other English and then created a community there spoke it differently.
But then I don't know where it came from though. Like they would have had like kind of a British accent, the first settlers. And then, but why don't we have a British accent then?
Yeah, okay. Why?
I don't know. Now I've confused myself.
Do you want me to tell you? Do you have another guess? Like the thing is, with this answer, there's a lot of different answers that come into play to create
Right.
the answer. So like
there's a lot of reasons.
like a lot of reasons. So you're kind of like on an okay track to saying something that might be one of the many reasons.
Right.
Do you have another guess, or do you want me to put you out of your misery?
Put me out of my misery.
Put you out of your misery. All right, cool. So this is what has just come up when I Googled it. I will read like 2 different definitions. But it says dialects and accents developed historically when groups of language users lived in relative isolation without regular contact to other people using the same language. Yeah, makes sense. Invasion and migration also helped to influence dialect development at a regional level. Like, does that make sense?
So that's kind of what I was saying. Like, it's just because that's who they were around, they all influenced each other.
Yeah.
But why are they so different now? Like,
it's also to do with, like, people speak different languages.
Yeah.
And so when they, like, in different languages, some languages don't have letters or sounds or anything that other languages do have. So that's why it sounds weird when they convert it to translate it.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
sense.
Why they have accents.
Well, that makes sense. But what about like
languages?
What about like the American accent?
Yeah. At first, English speakers in the colonies of England used it's called rhotic accent. But after the Revolutionary War, upper class and middle class citizens in England began using non-rhotic speech as a way to show their status and their class.
Oh.
So Americans kept their rhotic American accent for the most part.
Right, so they started speaking fancy.
They started speaking fancier, which is technically why the English accent is supposed to be posh and fancy.
Right.
Because they wanted to distinguish themselves as a different class. So that's kind of how accents
there you go
differ and why we have different ones.
Right. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me.
It's not as like, funny as what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like someone had a cold and then that's why they sound very nasally. And then,
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. All right. Well, let's move on.
Moving on.
Question of the podcast. If you could make one thing that is currently illegal legal, what would it be? So you could change any law to make it legal. What would it be?
Public indecency.
Why?
I don't know. Like, why is that illegal?
Because I don't want to see old naked men on the street. What about you? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. I kind of have one that's kind of similar. Peeing in public but only like when you really need to go. Like, you know, when you're desperate and it's like,
you know what? That's why they have public toilets.
Yeah, but not in enough places.
Not anywhere I need them.
Yeah, sometimes you're just desperate and it's like, I could go in on that trip, you know, like,
yeah.
So that shouldn't, like, maybe they need to develop some way to like monitor exactly how desperate you are to go, and then like it's okay because your meter was really high.
Right. Okay. Do you have any more?
Consuming alcohol in public places.
I was going to say that as well.
Yeah, because I don't think that's illegal everywhere in the world. Like in Australia, there are really strict laws on like you can only consume alcohol in licensed venues or like in your house, you know?
And you can't consume it on the beach, in a park, even if you step foot out of the licensed area.
Yeah.
So if you're at a bar and you step foot out of the licensed area, which is probably like the footpath or something, you can't drink there.
Yeah, like not on the, and I get it. I do, so that they can like monitor safety and whatever. Yeah. But like sometimes it's a real buzzkill, you know what I mean? So that's my next one.
I completely agree with that one.
My last one, just because it's really embarrassing and I don't want to have to do it, wearing a bike helmet.
You know what? I think that's the same thing. Like maybe it's only in Australia, or there's not every country has that
Probably
rule.
not.
But in Australia, you will get fined if you're not wearing a helmet riding a bike.
It's a hefty fine. It's like $200 and something, I think, if they see you riding your bike on the side of the road without a helmet on. Which is just, it's embarrassing. I don't know why, but it's embarrassing wearing a helmet. They're just
Even
not
though
flattering.
Last episode we did wear it for 30 minutes straight with no kind of road rules involved.
So you know how unflattering they are. You've seen it firsthand.
They're embarrassing. I don't want to wear that on the road. Either
they need to make not wearing a helmet legal, or they need to bloody design some better looking bike helmets, because I don't like the ones we've got right now. Those ones with the mohawks on them.
No, you know the ones I was going to say. So, Queensland especially is just magpie danger zone. The
that's the other thing I was
magpies,
thinking.
they come in and they swoop the crap out of you. Yeah. So they swoop down, peck you, trying to protect their young, but like really you're doing nothing. You're just like running through the park trying to not get hurt.
They like swoop dogs and stuff too.
Yeah,
like they're
so,
terrible.
People then on their bike helmets put zip ties sticking up to the sky, about 12 of them. And that is...
and it's just not cute.
It's not a look. So...
And like I understand, sometimes like I would rather wear zip ties on my helmet than get my eyeball poked out by a magpie. But I don't want to wear a helmet at all.
No. So one of two things need to happen. It needs to be illegal to wear a bike helmet.
Oh, okay. We're going...
Or the bike helmets just need to be way cooler.
Yeah, I agree. They need to make like...
And not look like half... You've just chopped a melon in half and shoved it on your head.
I was going to say they should make like fedora bike helmets, but that's worse. I don't know.
I was thinking like a bucket hat one, but then you might not be able to see out of it.
And what about people who aren't hat people? We need to be inclusive, you know?
I have a fringe. If I wear a hat, it just squishes it down. It looks even worse.
Hats don't suit me,
No.
so I don't like wearing bike helmets.
On that note, no more bikes. Just scooters.
Just scooters. True, we're big scooter advocates here.
Well, on that note,
I think I've had
it's
enough
time
for
to say
today.
farewell.
Yeah.
And we are excited for what 2021 is going to bring.
Yes.
And this is going to be a great year for all of us.
Yes, it is.
And we love you guys.
We hope you had a really safe and happy New Year's and Christmas. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts.
Everything kit and caboodle is down below.
Thanks.
And if you're watching this, we would love if you could subscribe, even give us a thumbs up, comment down below, anything you want. Be sure to send us an Instagram DM or any suggestions or just if you want to have a chat. We like hanging out with you guys over there.
Leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
And a rating.
Ideally 5 stars and say something nice. We're sick of the hate. On
I
TikTok.
did get called Sid the Sloth again.
Really?
Yep.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
That is now, 6 times in my life. So that's all right.
Just embrace it.
I will.
I'll make you a Sid t-shirt that you can wear around.
I think that's a great idea. Maybe we can have merch one day.
Yeah.
And it can be Sid the Sloth.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. All right, well that's it.
All right, thanks guys. See you
We love you.
next week.
See you next week for, I don't know, something fun, hopefully.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe we'll see.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You.
Welcome to my up home. I'm Lil Shorty, these my hoes. This is how we run this shit. Piss Olympics, let's go.
That looks cool on the sound waves.